Hey y'all, it's Lauren LaRosa from The Breakfast Club. Sorry to interrupt, but y'all know how I do. So I'm here to talk about Top Dog Law. Y'all hear Top Dog Law all over your radio, and I know by now that if you want top dollar, you should also know this. You gotta call Top Dog Law if it's about your car accident. Don't let these little family lawyers finesse you into a little check. Shouldn't nothing be little this season. Remember, for any serious accident, injury case, Top Dog Law gets you top dollar. So make sure you call today to find out what your car accident, your slip and fall, or your construction accident case could really be worth. And calling Top Dog Law is completely free also. It's free for a consultation. Call Top Dog Law today to see if your case is eligible for compensation with no money down. So make sure y'all go holla at my dogs, no pun intended, over at Top Dog Law. That's Top Dog Law on Instagram and topdoglaw.com. Now, let's get back to The Breakfast Club.
Wake that ass up
early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
The Diddy trial will continue today, May 12th, but today is a really, really big day because opening statements will begin for both the prosecutors and Diddy's team on the defense. But before that starts, they have to select the jury. They were supposed to have done this on Friday. That was supposed to be the last day of this. But the Diddy's team came in and said, because of cold feet, we shouldn't do it today.
What you mean cold feet?
So Diddy's team alleged that if they were to have selected the final members of the jury on Friday, those jury members would have had all weekend to sit, get nervous, get a little scared, basically. Like they didn't want that to happen. So they were like, look, we feel like because of how high stake this case is, because of the person that is in question, talking about Puff, we should wait until Monday right before we start the opening statements. They have a pool of 43 jurors, men and women. They have to narrow that down to 12 definite jurors and 6 alternates. So the judge agreed. He said, you know what, you're right, I agree. Let's wait until right before opening statements. We'll choose a jury and then boom, we'll swear them in. We'll go right into the actual opening statements from prosecutors and the defense.
So they're expecting this to be a speedy trial then?
The judge has been very, very adamant about wanting to stick to schedule. He doesn't, even timing, like this week, court is going to go from 9 to 5. He's like, next week, we're going to do 9 to 3. We're not going to be in here all day. We're going to get this done. And I think even with the jury thing, not wanting to pick over the weekend is because they don't want no mishaps. They don't want to have to get more people back in if the 6 alternates fall through. Like, they just want to get through. Yeah, he wants to get through it.
Is that good or bad that it seems like they're trying to get through this fast?
I don't think it's a bad thing. The judge seems really, really, really fair at the way that he's like handling both sides of it. Prosecutors did push back on it a bit, and I think it's just because for them, they don't care about that. Like they want,
I want the truth. I just want the truth.
They just
Forget the speedy trial. We want the truth, and we want people to be able to divulge to the facts and all that.
I mean, it's still 8 weeks. Like 8 weeks is still a time period for a trial. That's enough time. But and if there's more time needed, it seems like the judge is fair on both sides. But anyway, so today prosecutors and the defense will present their opening statements. Now, Envy, you had a question about Cassie testifying.
Yes, I think I heard on the news on my way, and they said Cassie might be testifying today.
Well, there have been photos that came out of her last week, at the end of the week, very, very pregnant in New York. It is expected that she's supposed to testify this week, but for her to testify today, those opening statements from both sides will have to be really, really short. I'm told by a source close to the case that it's possible, but for that to happen today, they would have to literally get through their opening statements super fast, and then, but it all depends on, what strategy the prosecutors are trying to take. And typically you wouldn't lean on a witness for your opening statements, but it depends on where they're going with it. Also too, Cassie's really, really pregnant. So I think that's going to play a part too in both sides wanting to make sure they can get her on the stand early on, because once she's out, she's out.
That's going to be a very stressful environment for her to be pregnant and be on that stand, and the way they're going to press her and be bringing up all type of stuff that I'm sure that, she may not want to have divulged. That's going to be a lot.
Yeah, I talked about this on the podcast, the latest with Lauren LaRosa. That's actually an interesting point, because if I'm a prosecutor and I'm pressing or even a defense, Diddy's team, and I'm pressing Cassie, the visual of a very pregnant woman sit on the stand being pressed can turn, like, if I'm a person, I'm like, oh my God, yeah, it's like,
Absolutely.
What are y'all doing to her?
Not to mention, pregnancy brain is real, you know what I'm saying?
So
some things can be blurry, clear. I don't know, I don't remember what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, she pregnant, like in her 3rd trimester, right?
Yeah, she's let me before I say let me look that up. I just know
I didn't
she's
even remember things that happened the day before sometimes when I was pregnant. So it's like, yo, they asking her It's just gonna be stressful for her.
But they gotta go back and forth with it, right? They gotta go to the facts. But like you said, it's gonna look so crazy.
Ain't gonna be no back and forth. It's gonna be a full court press. Okay.
But how is
they gonna
Diddy's
throw
team,
everything in the book at Cassie?
But how is Diddy's team gonna be looking going full court press with this woman who's pregnant?
You gotta be strategic. You gotta do it where you get to what you need to get to, but you don't look like you're like
bullying,
being angry. They're like being upset with her.
He don't care. He fighting for his life.
I mean,
100%.
But you want to. You don't. I feel like you don't want the jury to feel like you're
attacking a pregnant
woman. They're going to do that because the picture that they're going to paint of Cassie is you not innocent. That's what they're going to try to paint.
100%. 100%.
You was complicit in all of this, and probably an accessory in some cases. That's how they're going to try to paint her.
Oh yeah, they've already started kind of leaning into that now. As far as how far along Cassie is, she announced her pregnancy in February 2025. So according to Google, she's 6, maybe 7 months at this point. She's in the photo she looked very pregnant. Now I'd already told you guys that from what I was told, Cassie did not want to testify. Victim 3, as we know, as of today, still does not want to testify and is telling them she does not plan on coming to court. There is now a victim 5. I know Puff's team was trying to keep victim 5 out of the conversation or whatever, but victim 5, if victim 5 does testify, will testify with she's not going to be able to hide her identity, and this is according to some documents that TMZ recently obtained, and this victim is going to testify as a witness that Diddy committed an act of sexual misconduct allegedly in the past, but he's not being charged for this act in the case.
Do any of the victims have penises? Because there was a lot of talk about male stuff. I don't know if did that make it to the courtroom. I know that was a lot of chatter online, but did it make it to the courtroom?
All of the victims that I know of are women.
Okay.
At this point, and y'all had some questions about what happens if victim 3 don't show up.
Men before.
Great question.
Oh, see,
Jess.
I don't know that.
You gotta be strategic.
I probably won't know until I see.
Okay.
And all those suits, because a lot of Diddy's lawsuits got dropped, right?
On the civil side,
right?
Yes, there's a number of them.
So the Rodney one got dropped, right? That's the one they took. He said he took a shower and he was making beats in the shower or something like that.
Yes.
But that's on the civil side. I mean, to your point though, I'm sure that they're going to try and make claims on the criminal side seem like really outrageous because we've watched that on the civil side, but civil and criminals separate.
They have no weight, in civil because they
burden of proof is different, but so that kicks off today. I'll be there.
Yes,
I will be there.
Our very own Lauren LaRosa will be there.
Yes,
dressed as Colonel Sanders.
Oh my God! But it's giving like a cute little colonel.
Nice.
Period. It's very well fitted.
Equestrian. That's what you look like.
Equestrian.
That's what she looks like.
Yes.
Is that a horse jockey?
But it's sexy. It's giving like role play with your man.
She need a man first.
Yes.
You need to mind your business.
You're right.
You got something? Good. All right. Now that is it, and that is all for now. But I will be back with more because it's going to be a long day in court.
What time you got to be there?
I need to be there by 8:30 a.m.
Okay.
Latest, and that's like honest. I'm pushing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. When we come back, we got front page news, and then Lizzo will be joining us. So don't go anywhere. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.